school's out, blame corona, but I still got some science I could show ya. No class, no school, that's cool, throw the class on the YouTube. Even if they shut the school down, I'll get that knowledge anyway somehow. Real scholars won't stop for corona. Tune in for that science takeover.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Mrs. Finney's science class. Shout out, as always, to the HB Warriors, to all of our subscribers, and to all of our visitors from my house to your house. Let's learn science. Today, we're in Lesson 10, Section 3. Let's see what this is all about. A genetic disease with environmental influences. Learning objective, I can define genetic disorders and explain how the environment can influence genetic disorders. So let's take a look. Getting into our reading. At the top it says some people will get diseases like lung cancer while others will not. Why do some people get a disease but others do not? That's our essential question for today. Some people get a disease because that disease runs in their family, which means they might inherit alleles that make them more likely to get the disease. Genetic disorders are diseases or conditions that are caused by a particular alleles of one or more genes. But some diseases require being exposed to risk factors like smoking. People that smoke are more likely to get lung cancer in their lifetime. Many human diseases are affected by both genetics and the environment, like eczema pigmentosum, XP. XP is an example of a rare human genetic disorder in which the eyes and skin of affected people are severely damaged by sunlight. Many people can get sunburned by lots of sunlight, but usually their skin heals quickly because they make proteins that repair the damage from UV rays. People with XP get damage from the sun that their body is unable to repair. These people have alleles that result in defective proteins that cannot fix damage from UV rays. These people must cover their bodies when they go outside. Although XP is caused by a change in a gene, it causes damage only when that person is exposed to sunlight and environmental factor. So both the genetic factor and the environmental factor are required for the damage to occur. All right, let's take a look at this image. And this just illustrates that it's caused by a combination of genetic and environmental factors. So not just by genes, not just by the environment, but a combination of both. Okay? And so as you can see, it's caused severe skin damage, also eye damage, but only if the skin or eyes are exposed to sunlight. All right? So we want to take a look at a video that gives us a little more information about this topic. Let's take a look.
Our bodies are made up of billions of cells. Inside each cell is our genetic material. Chromosomes are the packaging of our genetic material. We usually have 23 pairs of chromosomes, and we inherit one copy from our mother and one from our father. If we unwind a chromosome, we can identify genes. Genes are the basic building blocks that make proteins. Genes are like the blueprint to make a machine, and proteins are like the individual components of that machine. Proteins make us who we are and help us grow and function properly. Our genetic material is made up of DNA. Deoxyribose nucleic acid is the very long chains of 4 chemical letters: adenine, guanine, thymine, and cytosine that combine to make our genetic code. We all have small variations in our genetic code. Gene variations are like spelling errors, where, for example, there is a T instead of a C. A variation in a gene that makes it faulty or not working properly is called a mutation. Faulty genes occur commonly simply through chance. They have to occur in one individual for the first time at some stage. They are not related to anything a parent could have caused or prevented in any way. They occur because the process that replicates and divides our genes so we can pass them on to the next generation is complex and mistakes occur. For each gene, we have two copies. One copy comes from our mother and the other copy comes from our father. In an autosomal recessive condition, an individual needs both copies of the gene to be faulty for a condition to develop. The parents of the child usually carry only one faulty gene of the gene pair. They are healthy carriers. It is estimated that every individual is a healthy carrier of several faulty genes, but a recessive condition occurs only when both individuals in a couple happen to carry the same faulty gene. When healthy carriers have children, there are three possible outcomes. 1. The child inherits both faulty gene copies and has the condition. 2. The child inherits only one faulty gene copy and is a healthy carrier, like his/her parents. 3. The child inherits both working copies of the gene. So each time healthy carriers have children, there is a 1 in 4, 25% chance that their child could inherit both faulty gene copies and develop the condition. When an individual with a recessive condition has children, their children will usually all be healthy carriers of the condition. Their children could develop the condition if their partner happens to be a carrier of a faulty gene, but this would be a rare occurrence. Brothers and sisters of a healthy carrier could also be healthy carriers themselves.
All right, welcome back from that video. Hopefully you now have a little more understanding of disorders. Let's do our check for understanding. Here we go. Which of the following statements is true? A, diseases only affect people who have genetic disorders. The disease XP only affects older people who have received too much sunlight. Did we have any conversation about older people? C, diseases only affect people who are exposed to risk factors like smoking. Really? D, many human diseases are affected by both genetics and the environment. Feeling that one? Okay. All right, well, let's check and see. Good job. So that is our true statement. Many human diseases are affected by both genetics and the environment. Let's take a look here at Lesson 10, Section 3 questions. Question 1. What is a genetic disorder? How would you describe a genetic disorder? Imagine you're talking to, your best buddy, someone close. How would you describe a genetic disorder in your own words? I like. All right, so this is a disease or condition that is caused by particular alleles of one or more genes. Jot this down, please. A disease or condition that is caused by particular alleles of one or more genes. Number 2, why is it that genetic disorders run in the family? What would you say to that? Okay. So, because family members share many alleles. So if one has an allele that causes a genetic disorder, others are likely to have the same allele. Okay. This is why when you, you'll probably notice this more when you get older, you may go to the doctor's office and depending on what you're there for, they may ask you about your family history. They give you a chart and you'll have to check off some different conditions that may run in your family. Okay? Number 3, what does it mean to be exposed to a risk factor? Risk factor. Let's take a look here. So this is some aspect of the environment makes it more likely a disease will occur. That's being exposed to a risk factor. When you have some aspect of the environment that makes it more likely that the disease will occur. All right. Number 4. How can lung cancer both run in families and depend on risk factors like smoking? How? Like many traits, it has both genetic and environmental influence. Smoking makes a person with alleles that are more likely to lead to the disease, even more likely to get the disease. Okay. Let's place this here so you can see it. All right. Number 5, what is XP? We had a picture of it. What do you remember about the picture? All right, I know you know. So it's a rare human genetic disorder in which the eyes and skin of affected people are severely damaged by sunlight. In the image, we didn't see the damage in the eyes, but we definitely saw the damage of the skin. Okay? All right, let's take a look at number 6. Fill in the table. For each disorder, write out the genetic factor and the environmental factor that is involved. All right, think about it. Here's the health problem. Lung cancer. XP. What's the genetic component? What's the environmental component? In both cases for genetic, presence of certain alleles. And for environment, for lung cancer, smoking is the environmental component. And for XP, exposure to sunlight is the environmental component. Right, number 7, what has the greatest influence on most diseases? Genes are the environment. What do you think? Feels like a trick question, maybe? Maybe. Neither. Most diseases are influenced by both factors. Keep that in mind. All right, so we want to wrap up taking a look at our essential question. Why do some people get a disease but others do not? Okay, some people get a disease because that disease runs in their family, which means they might inherit alleles that make them more likely to get the disease. All right, that is it for section 3 and lesson 10. Let's wrap up with our outro. And before we do that, I don't want to let you go without saying you are awesome, awesome, awesome. Without saying you are awesome, awesome, awesome. One time. Awesome on the count 3. Awesome on the count 3. Awesome. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. On the count of 3. Awesome. On the count of 3. Say awesome. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. All right, let's wrap up with our outro. It's been fun. It's been real. We break it down and pick up science skills. Give yourself 2 claps just for tuning in. Come back, meet tomorrow. We can learn again. Oh, it's been fun. It's been real. We break it down and pick up science skills. Give yourself 2 claps just for tuning in. Come back, meet tomorrow. We can learn again. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.